So this video pertaining to emotional equations is going to be on anxiety. So anxiety is uncertainty times powerlessness. Uncertainty is basically just doubt. I mean, things like the economy or like COVID, like everything that's going on, there's just such uncertainty about how it's going to end up. And that's different than the powerlessness, because powerlessness is how you can control that. This is just not knowing it. Uncertainty can lead you down like this downward spiral of like what ifs and worst case scenarios, and it's just going to be mentally draining for you. To cope with uncertainty, a lot of us use like worrying and trying to predict the future just to avoid like any nasty surprises. Worrying can make it feel like you have some kind of control over, uncertain circumstances. Chronic worrying can't give you more control over uncontrollable events. It just robs you of your enjoyment in the present. It saps all your energy and it keeps you up at night. But there are healthier ways to cope with uncertainty.
Okay, so I'm going to show you something in like a visual representation that's very helpful for lowering anxiety. It's like a little activity you can do. This right here is called an anxiety balance sheet. It's composed of 4 columns. So get out paper or like an online document, and then at the top, type like what the main issue is that you're going to focus on for this specific, problem. And then type it there, and make 4 columns. Okay, so column 1 is what I do know about the issues causing anxiety. 2 is what I don't know, and then those both pertain to the uncertainty part of the equation. And the 3rd column is what I can influence or change about the situation that's causing anxiety. And number 4 is what I can't influence or change. And then those both are related to the powerlessness part of the equation. Okay? So like take 10 minutes and just fill it out or whatever if you do want to like pause the video and try it. But the thing is, like most people are surprised that they have more items under each column that's considered like the good columns, like column 1 and 3, which is what I do know, and then what I can influence or change, rather than what I don't know and then what I can't influence. So like the more your certainty goes up, the more your anxiety goes down, since the uncertainty is one of the variables of the equation. And then even if you still have a lot of powerlessness, you're at least altering the equation to be more favorable to lower anxiety. Okay? And for an example, look at column 2, what I don't know. So ask yourself how you could learn more. For example, like you're worried about losing your job. So what do you not know? Why don't you ask your boss if your job is in jeopardy? Okay. So then once you ask them this, take that, put it right here. Now move to that column because you're proactive. You see? Okay, and then like by having this balance sheet, it really helps you break down each of the problems, like I said before. And then it's also possible moving things from like column 4 right here to column 3 by asking yourself how you can create influence on this issue. And like the act alone of being proactive and thinking logically, this really helps anxiety loosen its grip on you. So like when I was, researching emotional equations, I came across this chart, and honestly, it works really well. As I just showed you, I didn't even go in depth into a topic, and you can already see how you get like more of a grasp on something that's like really worrying you.
There's a lot of situations that all you can control is like your attitude and your emotional response to it. So powerlessness, it refers to the expectancy that people's behaviors can't determine the outcomes or like the reinforcements that they do seek. It's further explained as like the lack of strength or the absence of power. So this is important to say that like people who do experience this powerlessness has this related to have been abused in life. You know, when it becomes a chronic and like repeated occurrence, these continuous persistent feelings of powerlessness lead people to become afraid and afraid to feel and express like their needs. By someone that's been abused succumbing to like this powerlessness, it's going to end up, you know, leading them into like this cycle of abusive relationships in life. We can point out the feelings of powerlessness in us and the repeated cycles of where we just automatically allowed ourselves to have that, then that's when you can like start to heal, because you become aware of it. If you admit like what you can't control, you'll have a better idea of the things that you can control and then take charge in that.